say that this site, which we reported to you about yesterday, calling Tea Party members, quote, racists, homophobe, bunch of morons, is just a hoax. Others say it's a real attempt to discredit the Tea Party group by asking anti-Tea Partiers to crash events, undermine the Tea Party's message, and smear its public image. Here to weigh in, Bernie Goldberg, a Fox News media analyst and author of A Slobbering Love Affair. Hi, Bernie.
Hi. If it's a hoax, who's doing the hoax?
Well, apparently it's this one guy who's behind the whole thing, who we're told is this guy named Justin Levin, who organized this web page saying everybody infiltrate the Tea Party, embarrass them, will act on behalf of the Tea Party in ways which exaggerate their least appealing qualities, misspelling protest signs,
right,
making wild claims on TV interviews, and so on.
Right.
So is he pulling our leg?
I don't know. I don't know. But for now, I'm going to take this seriously because it sounds like something a left-wing bozo might actually want to do. And if it is real, they'll go to the Tea Parties, they will pull their dirty tricks. The lamestream media will either cover them as if they're real Tea Party people or maybe expose them. I don't know. But in any event, here's what we know isn't a hoax. And in my mind, far more dangerous than anything this idiot might or might not do. What about the so-called serious, important journalists who have said basically the same thing as this website says about the Tea Party people? I have three examples. Leonard Pitts, syndicated columnist, writes in the Miami Herald and other papers, did a piece under this headline: racism pervades Tea Party, right? Racism pervades Tea Party. Pulitzer Prize winner Colbert King in the Washington Post does a column comparing the Tea Party people to the racist who tried to keep kids out of Central High School in Little Rock, Arkansas in 1957. And Frank Rich of the most important newspaper on the planet, the New York Times, says opposition to Obamacare by the Tea Party people has nothing to do with health care. It's really opposition to a black president. That's what's really happening. That's worse than anything this website may or may not attempt to do.
You know, but the thing that interests me, Bernie, let me ask you this. The thing that interests me is if you know, Colby King and Frank Rich and these others are right, that the Tea Party is a bunch of homophobic, racist, vile people who are out there with the worst motivations and the worst behavior.
Right.
Why would somebody like this Jason Levin have the need to send fake racists and fake homophobes into the group to behave badly?
That's a funny and very good question. Let me make something clear. This is a good time to make this clear. I am not here as an advocate for the Tea Party people. I'm here as a news analyst. And I could tell you, as a news analyst, I've covered hard news for a very long time, and more recently I've become a commentator. I could tell you that even opinion journalism needs to be fair. Sure, they can have a point of view. They can criticize the Tea Party people on economic grounds. They can say they don't understand the Constitution. They can criticize them on those grounds. But if they're going to criticize them as homophobes and racists and morons, by the way, the website that says that, that's basically the same position that Frank Rich and the others hold, that it's a loose collection, a loose affiliation of racist homophobes and morons. Well, they're entitled to criticize the Tea Party people on, as I say, economic grounds and constitutional grounds. But if you want to slander and slime the entire movement, even an opinion journalist shouldn't be allowed. Well, I say allowed. I don't want a law against it, but shouldn't do it ethically.
But what's going to happen, Bernie? Because we have tax day coming up, as everybody knows, and the Tea Partiers are going to come out in droves, and maybe there will be some infiltrators who take this guy's message or just came up with the boneheaded idea on their own. And they go out there with their swastikas or with their, bad behavior. Right. And what do we expect from the mainstream media covering that? Because let's look at what happened on healthcare vote day with the, alleged spitting incident and the alleged hurling of the N-word at one of our lawmakers. I have to say, my impression is no one really wanted to push hard on those allegations because you worry people are going to say you're a racist for not believing the charges of racism.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And to your question, what should we expect from the media? Well, as I say, some in the media might expose them, and some might just take what they do as if they were real Tea Party people. But why would they be so lazy? Because if these phonies come out with swastikas and say racist things, that fits the storyline, the narrative of these so-called mainstream journalists. In other words, it wouldn't look out of the ordinary to them. And it's because it's based on these so-called incidents that happened outside the Capitol a few weekends ago before the vote on health care reform. And I'm telling you, Megyn, I said this to you once before, I'm going to say it again. Based on everything I've been able to figure out, I don't believe those things happened. I just don't believe they happened, mainly because one of the people, John Lewis, the congressman from Atlanta, has never publicly said they called me the N-word. And until he comes out and says that, I do not believe they happened. And yet, those alleged incidents gave birth to all of these crazy columns that accuse the entire Tea Party movement of bigotry. And that's just wrong, even when it's coming from opinion journalists.
You really do wonder, because when you watch the videos of the rallies, you see people of all stripes. You know, you see senior citizens. You see, I mean, I can't get the idea out of my head. I saw an elderly couple, man and woman, appeared to be husband and wife, you know, standing there with a sign about big government. I just don't see how anybody in the mainstream media or otherwise degrades them based on, even if you assume it is true, you know, the incidents that were reported, even if those are true, to degrade the entire movement as a bunch of crazies. I don't see the interest that serves to anybody.
Oh yeah, I'll tell you what interest it serves. These are the people who jumped on the Obama bandwagon early on. These are the people that I write about in A Slobbering Love Affair. So if the Tea Party people are anti-Obama, then they will smear the Tea Party people. Let's just imagine for a second that the Tea Party people were out there maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago with the same protest against George Bush and the Republican Congress for their ridiculously out-of-control spending. Do you think any of the mainstream media would be slandering them if that were the case? No. It's only because they're anti-Obama. That's what it's really about. They are tarring these people and sliming these people because they are against, on one level, huge spending, but at another level, they are against generally President Obama and the
they don't like big government policies. Bernie,
yes,
I gotta go.
But they don't like Obama, and the media does like Obama, and that's what this is about.
It's something to watch, not just the Tea Party rallies that come and go on tax day, but the way they are covered. And Bernie Goldberg will be doing it for us. By the way, you can follow him on Twitter at Bernard Goldberg. Bernie, thanks so much.
Thanks a lot, Megyn.
Well, folks, New Jersey Governor Chris Christie asking teachers in the Garden State to pay a small percentage of their own health care coverage. Someone in the teachers union responded with an internal email wishing Christie were dead. Now the governor is firing back. And there's this.
You have to interrupt me.
You came and interrupted our meeting.
Well, I have a point to make here.
I think an apology.
How many of you think it's a good apology? Raise your hand.
That's Democratic Congressman Alan Grayson crashing a meeting of Republicans at a restaurant down in Florida. But wait, it gets better. The accusations, the confrontation, and the rest of that fiery exchange. Just ahead.
How low you've all sunk to the point where you're spying on people. I hope you're proud of yourself.
Times are changing, and America's economy is changing with them. Have you watched the national debt climb with no end in sight?